Over more than 3 years of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, numerous classic and shocking moments have unfolded. This time, Ukraine infiltrated Russian territory using civilian trucks to launch a large number of suicide drones, attacking at least 4 Russian aerospace forces airfields and destroying multiple strategic bombers and other military aircraft, once again providing the world with a combat case and lesson worthy of being written into military textbooks. However, this incident may not end there. This seemingly successful attack has inadvertently opened a terrifying Pandora's box, potentially causing considerable negative impacts globally. Judging from public comments on the attack, many have focused on Russia's lax security measures. Strategic bombers, as precious airborne nuclear strike platforms, were parked open air at airfields with no protection against suicide drones. However, from Russia's perspective, the fact that it has chosen to park its bombers in the open air, even after more than 3 years of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, with the Russian aerospace forces still not building bomber hangars or other facilities, raises the question, is this truly because the Putin government does not want to do so, or due to excessive carelessness? The answer is likely no. The real reason is actually related to the new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. Scheduled to expire in 2026, this U.S. Russia treaty explicitly requires both nations to park their nuclear-capable strategic bombers in the open air as stipulated, allowing each side's satellites to mutually record the number of these bombers. Both the U.S. and Russia have generally adhered to and implemented this treaty strictly. Not only does the Russian aerospace forces park a large number of bombers in the open air, but the U.S. Air Force does the same. Even for the B-2 stealth bomber, which uses stealth coatings and has high requirements for daily parking and maintenance, the U.S. military has only built 4 hangars capable of accommodating this aircraft, with each hangar holding only 1 B-2. Most B-2 bombers remain parked in the open air. So, the majority of the Russian aerospace forces bomber fleet is parked almost unprotected in open-air airfield parking spots. While this is partly due to the high financial and time costs and engineering challenges of building large hangars, the primary factor is maintaining strategic nuclear arms trust between the U.S. and Russia, a bottom line between the world's 2 largest nuclear powers. However, it now appears that things have changed dramatically and may be hurtling toward a terrifying abyss. For Russia, which is at war, adhering to the New START treaty has led to severe damage, particularly a reduction in the number of its invaluable air-based nuclear delivery vehicles. From this perspective, Ukraine is undermining Russia's nuclear arsenal and strategic foundation, making it difficult for Russia to maintain a nuclear balance with the United States, a situation that Moscow will absolutely find unacceptable. It is worth noting that Ukraine lacks the capability to conduct reconnaissance and navigation for drones within Russian territory, which necessarily requires technical support such as Starlink. What actions will the Putin government take? One possibility is that to avoid further losses, Russia may begin building hangars, reinforced bunkers, and other facilities for airfields hosting strategic bombers. However, this would make it impossible for countries including the U.S. to determine the exact deployment locations and quantities of Russian bombers, as no one can know whether strategic bombers are parked inside hangars or reinforced bunkers. In other words, the previously high level of transparency and mutual trust between the U.S. and Russia in nuclear arsenals could be completely eroded. What would be the consequences and impacts? The answer is simple: an arms race, particularly a nuclear arms race, may be reignited. Not just between the U.S. and Russia, but the world could potentially return to the crazy and dangerous Cold War state where nuclear war could break out at any moment. What does this mean for all nations? Given the already unstable world situation, the implications require no further explanation. Therefore, the strike planned and carried out by Ukraine is not merely weakening Russia's war capabilities. To a large extent, it has shaken the nuclear balance between the United States and Russia, with enormous and far-reaching implications. As a result, this time, all military powers, especially nuclear-armed states, are likely to take certain reactions. This could potentially reduce some hard-won nuclear transparency, nuclear mutual trust, and related treaties to zero overnight, which will inevitably affect all of humanity and the entire world. At present, I only hope that the situation will not further develop and escalate, otherwise, one day, human civilization might be completely destroyed.